Happy Tuesday, peoples. It is I, the OGGM, broadcasting live from a small island off the coast of Sigmar in the world of Warhammer, because it's Warhammer Tuesday. Every Tuesday, Games Workshop posts some new stuff that's going on in the world of Warhammer, and we occasionally remember that they do this on Tuesday and follow up on it. So if you're a fan of the world of Warhammer and whatever's going on this week over at Game Shop, stand by, because if nothing else, we've got some cool figures to look at, which is always fun. And if you're not a fan of the world of Games Workshop and the world of Warhammer and really cool figures, then feel free to ignore this video and move on to the next one. I'll give you a second to make up your mind while I take a sip of my coffee. Cold coffee. All right, you're still here, so I guess that means you are curious what's going on in Games Workshop Warhammer this week. So let's take a look. New figures. We've got a Space Marines Heroes 2023 Death card. These guys look pretty hardcore. Definitely Warhammer 40k, I would think, since they've got guns. That is either a mace or a take on the World War II grenade. Nope, someone's at my door. Who is it? Thank you.
I remember you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Atlasmines.com. I apologize. All right, where were we? See what happens when you broadcast live from a small island off the coast of Sigmar? Okay, so up here we have some definitely fantasy-looking dudes. Then up here we got a guy with a gun. And then down here we got a guy with a, I guess, a goop thrower. Looks like there's some kind of goop leaking out of here, so maybe acid thrower. Probably was supposed to be a flamethrower, maybe, but this guy decided goop thrower. And then this guy, evil, warlocky looking guy that could be used for anything, so that's cool. We've got some new selection of Space Marines to put together in like single packs. Looks like these come from a Japanese distributor. These, according to the article, were originally only available in the Japanese markets for Warhammer, and now they are becoming available to your other parts of the world. So if you have a Games Workshop shop where you live, we do have one here in Ventura. They might be carrying these. So these look like your typical glue it together, but they come in blind boxes, similar to what you would see Magic cards in or other figures. I'm not aware if Warhammer's done this before with other figures. Have they? If anybody knows, please let me know. Cool idea for a figure collector, but you still, I mean, you know, I'd rather see the figure I'm getting ahead of time and instead of, you know, just hoping it's the figure I want. If I was a figure guy, but figure blind boxes kind of work with D&D and other games because you keep buying them, hoping you get the figure you want. And then you got 2 or 3 figures, you're like, I might use that. And that one figure, you're always like, not only will I never use that, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. But it's trade bait, so it's trade bait. So this one, same kind of idea. You get a figure, maybe you'll use it, maybe you won't use it, maybe you can trade it. And I guess they're hoping it'll perpetuate that, you know, buying mentality to just keep buying it until you get the ones you want. So figure blind boxes from Warhammer. Originally in Japan, Asia, but now available to the rest of the world. Is this new? Have they done this before? Please let me know. Warhammer Underworlds starter set. They showed us this before. This is another new offshoot of the never-ending story of Warhammer. This is Warhammer Underworld. It is a fast-paced tactical arena combat that takes place in the underworlds of Warhammer Fantasy, I would assume right now, but then probably will expand to space stuff eventually. So it's like Blood Bowl, but copped down to even smaller units as you fight over control of some resource, and you get cards and figures. And the figures are, you know, usually the reasons why we come here. And speaking of, look at these guys. Yeah, you can see them, right? Okay. These are, I don't know what these are, but these are awesome. This is called the Headsman Curse. Apparently it is one of the war brands for Underworld Warhammer. They are sentient spectral swords. Well, that was a sentient spectral sword, or they worship us. What? No, these guys aren't swords. Oh, the commander is a sword, and the war group is people who worship the sword. So that's cool. An intelligent sword that has surpassed its owner and risen in power to become a warlord on its own. I like that idea. Has anybody ever used that for like a character in a game? If not, please feel free, because that's cool. So we've got this guy who's reading off scroll, a very long scroll. Like, dude, by the time you finish casting this spell, the battle will probably be over. If you started up here and you're still going and you're like, blah, blah, blah. No, that's, yeah. Then we've got this guy wielding, I guess, the sword and slashing some other undead. So you're undead that fight under undead. And again, here's the usual Warhammer character with no feet. No feet, just a torso. Then we got this guy over here. He's got candles on his back. That's always cool. He's wielding a mace that looks like it's attached to... Is that an anvil? Is his mace an anvil? Or just maybe a bookcase? And he's swinging a bookcase and there's a candle on it. So I guess it's supposed to say he's like really strong. He's strong enough to wield a mace that's I'm going to say anvil on a chain. And again, this guy has no legs. And then we have this guy over here, another sword. He's got chains too. And again, no legs. So these guys are just torsos that work in the service of this intelligent sword. I'm not sure what reading off a big old scroll has to do with an intelligent sword, but these guys look cool, so I'll forgive everything else. I mean, if I was a player and the DM put these down in any situation, I'd be scared. So yeah, these guys are cool. Then we have this thing, Dex for Warhammer Underworld. So I guess it uses Dex to build the powers of your warband. And then we have some stuff from the Black Library, which is the art section of Warhammer and the book section of Warhammer. And this is a character called Yandastra, the Celestial Spear, by Noah Van Nugian. And I guess this is a art book. Gorgeous softcover featuring the sculpted visions of Yandastra herself, foil effects. So yeah, sort of a bookcase thing. Cool. And apparently now there is also an app for it. An app called Capheus Kane, Choose Your Enemies. It's an audiobook that captures the classic tale of Commissioner Kane. And we've got another one called Fall of Damios. It's another audiobook for the Warhammer audiobook app. We've got some new books set in the Warhammer 40k universe. This is called Die Geist Legion by Mike Brooks. So it looks like this is originally made in German and now being translated to English. And we have some unlicensed stuff. We got Warhammer Pops. Oh my God, Chibi Warhammer. And then for some reason, Guile from what's the bad guy's name in Street Fighter? Yeah, I don't know why Street Fighter characters are here, but whatever. Probably has something to do with Warhammer. Some kind of witch hunter chick. Space Marines looking all cute and chibi. And then we've got some upcoming stuff. Got an announcement that there's a podcast. We've got an announcement of a battle report. They're still making White Dwarf, and that's it. That's what's going on in the world of Warhammer from Games Workshop this Tuesday. They post these every Tuesday, and occasionally I remember to look at them. These guys are just fucking awesome. I don't know what the Warhammer's obsession with characters not having feet is. I'm sure there's an explanation. If you are a Warhammer person and you want to post to me why so many of their figures are made without feet, I greatly appreciate it. I mean, you're an undead, so I assume you could still be operating without feet, but just the way the human body works, even with magic, you do need legs to counterbalance the weight that you would require to swing this big chunk of whatever this is. Bookcase, I'm getting bookcase, table, anvil. He's just using some big chunk of material as a mace, and that requires a lot of strength, but that also requires the ability to get the footing to use the strength. But I guess they use their cloaks as feet. Maybe is that what this thing is saying? Is that they use their cloaks as their feet, so they're just living cloaks? I don't know. Whatever, they're cool. We don't need to know. It's magic. We don't need to know. Why am I'm overthinking it. That's it for Tuesday Warhammer. If you want to see me do this again next Tuesday, let me know. If you never want to see me talk about Warhammer ever again, let me know. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year, and I will talk to you later because I am the OG GM, and this is today's Warcraft Tuesday. See ya.